Look at this view. So when we first got to Pendle, we all met for between 12 and 1. And then we headed off to the witch's cottage, which I was unaware had been reburied to stop tourism, so to speak. But anyway, we got it located kind of on a map. We did, by intuition, head the right way, but could not see any derelict building anywhere. I asked a couple of passers-by, like I'd gone over, climbed over a fence, I'd looked and I was like, I feel like it should be there, but nothing, just grassland and the overflow for the reservoir. The girls, they did ask a passerby, they asked many, but eventually this lady said, I believe it's over there, but they buried it in because of tourism, unwanted attention. So out came the dowsing rods. The dowsing rods confirmed where my intuition had led me, and we walked down and we set up. We couldn't get to the land where the cottage was because it had been fenced off and obviously privately owned, but we got as close to it as we could. So somewhere there's some rubble from it, but I believe it was over by where those bushes are behind the tree, which is slightly higher ground. And we've also got the, would have been a house. So Bev's decided, because it's got windows. I thought it might have been the bull wanted windows, but I don't know. I would have said that was a house as well. We've had a bit of noise from birds over that, but we've had some communication on the spirit box as well, and now they're just doing a Ouija board. Have they spelled anything out yet?
Yeah, read 1, 2, and now we're on NR. Oh, NER, sorry.
I've used the dowsing rods to get us this far after we've found one lady that did know that it used to be over here and they'd buried it, so to speak. And let me try and show you where the actual hill is. I can walk up this hill and show you where we're going this evening. Right. Between those trees, you can see some trees up on the hill. That's the Pendle Hill Woods, which we'll be going to after we've eaten this evening. But I feel really dizzy. Really, really dizzy. So we did have Annie and Emily, was it? Yeah. Annie and Emily. We've been told there's a druid that's come. He's not that nice in energy. As we got down there, the birds, ravens, appeared from nowhere. Their squawk or squeal, that gave us another inkling we were in the right place. But I was pretty positive we were in the right place, and later that actually has been confirmed. We did go to the right place, but we did, as you can see from some of the photos, the girls, they did a Ouija board, which they got great results from. That was after we'd done a spirit box, which confirmed we were in the right place as well, and said there were druids and witches there. Picked up and Alice and Annie, a couple of other names while we were there. Some liked us, some didn't. I went for a little bit of a walk. It was quite odd. The sheep, they graze everywhere, they eat anything. But there was one bit that they just really hadn't touched, which again let us know that we're in the right place. But that was interesting. So we had good spirit communication on the spirit box. We got some taps and bangs. This was in daylight as well. And the Ouija board. People were feeling sick energetically. And we got some photos that you can see from that in daylight with clear faces. The bald-headed man followed us for the rest of our weekend.
But I think because it's getting unwanted attention, they're covering a lot up. The witch's cottage was reburied, wasn't it? The ruins were reburied. But there's a lot of like broken down old buildings, but you just don't know what they are. And I think that's the way they want it.
Yeah.
Like that one, do you remember when we was looking at it, the windows and that, next to that farmhouse?
Yeah.
But we don't know what it was, do we?
No.
But it was old.
That was weird then, weren't it, when we was there as well, because all them birds made that noise in that house, and then all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't hear them anymore.
Yeah. I feel like there's a big cover-up. What people know.
So what went on?
Yeah, they want us to know that bit, but
yeah,
stuff we don't know. And
yeah.
So did the witch finder general make himself known?
Gavin spoke to him once, didn't he?
Yeah.
And after that, we headed back to the pub where we were staying, had a little rest. Then we went on a big hike up Pendle Hill.
So we're off up Pendle Hill. There's still not any reception, so to speak. So I'm going to be recording and then uploading. So we're still on the way up to the Pendle Woods. We've got to be walking about 15-20 minutes so far. I'm at the back because I've just been speaking to Marie. And I've got a big rucksack on, as you can see, and I'm having to fit through things like this. It's lovely though, it's beautiful.
We didn't quite get as far as the ancient burial because I was being drawn across to a forest I was drawn to all weekend.
So another little update for you. We've got to, oh God knows how long we've been walking. I've lost count. Couldn't count by 1,000. No, we lost count that because I can't keep quiet long enough. But we've still got that to go. And then along there to the woods over there. We've just been told about 40 minutes, but we could save a bit of time if we take a shortcut. So he doesn't know whether it's a shortcut or not because we might have to make our own path. So I think we're going to go and try and make our own path.
By the time we ended up coming down and made our own route down, it was getting dark. We ended up going back. But we did go off to another forest, which is the main forest that people investigate, but I just didn't feel the witches were there. We got there, which got the footage of. They killed our batteries, but it just didn't feel right. Everything was responding, yes, they were the witches, but then I guess that happens when so many people turn up paranormal-wise, asking for the witches. Anything's going to say yes, but it just didn't feel like it was the correct witches, just not to me anyway. It was not particularly close to Pendle. Why would they be called the Pendle Witches?
You have to put it on the stool and point it that way. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do this, because that shouldn't be doing what it's doing.
All right, yeah. Maybe something to do with that. That's it there. She's on in between, isn't it?
Can Spirit make a sound or something for us, please? Come closer then, please. Come closer, come closer. Come closer. Look at those green lights moving.
Oh, that's better. Change your batteries, Gavin. Oh, that's better. Oh, look at that.
So we covered 2 ways.
Oh, slow down a bit, Gavin.
Right? Not behind you.
Anything about
Travel one on the path, just to kind of not too far in front.
yes, yeah.
Let's get K2. I'm pleased with this already. What does this keep doing about? On. Get the spirit box going. And if they get good responses, they will do a bit of table to be voiced. What was that? Did anyone else just hear that?
Yes.
Whoa! That was a noise, wasn't it?
There you go.
You can come and take my energy. You can come close. If you can do any healing on legs and knees and
That's one at the moment.
hands and throats, if you can get to.
Where's your supply?
Right, let's put this back there so it's out of the way and I don't trip over it. Oh. Right.
Oh,
So we should be able to turn the light off now.
Hmm.
Killing the batteries, look.
Yeah, go
Look.
for it.
You want us in the dark, do you? If that's correct, give us a big bang.
Yeah, that one.
So much what the?
Look.
So the place really close.
I had that here. Didn't say anything. Yeah. Look, that's so good.
Fine.
They're here again. Like, they're just put like,
Shh, maybe still a second. Try them to be cool. It's got coffee on my back. Come on, Hello. Hello. I'll turn these green things off because there's no point having them on because you've killed them. They can last for hours. Hello. So you don't want to come close to me, whatever it is, because you're not talking when I've got my hand on the device. Hello. Who's here with us, please? How many of us are there, please? How many of us are with you? How many people are with you? I'm Gavin, but how many people are with me? Hiya. Not spirits. How many physical people are with me? A woman now. How many of us are there? I'm not talking spirits. I said how many physical people? Me. I'm Gavin. Pleased to meet you. Run away.
Hello. I'm Claire.
Michelle, hi.
Tracy. Hello, I'm Kerry.
How many of you are here with us, please? 7. The kids coming up with 7, wherever we've been. So who are you? You can come and join us. Hi, Trevor. What's your name, please? I was asking, it's polite. Got nothing to worry about. Do you know Matthew Hopkins? Matthew Hopkins. Yes, you're correct. Okay, what else what you said? One said I do not. Say it again, please. So, who does anyone know Matthew Hopkins? Say it again. Who is it? Who is it, please? Yeah, it's the first time I've said that. Where's the smoke coming from? Okay, it's on the camera, but it's not in front of us. Do you know someone with the surname Nutter?
Right, sorry.
I just said the child voice is yes, you just said it. Chat is a bit quiet, so it's not here's my edge of fairy, so my edge is good man. Oh, good. Oh, what are you doing touching me like that? Wasn't expecting to be touched. That's funny, yeah.
It was bloody funny.
I just relaxed my muscles.
Just finished me up. I'm done. We go.
What's that light? Light shouldn't be there. But there's a man.
It's that one.
There's a man there. Look. Yeah. What's his name? A bald man. Have you?
Look at this.
So, who is he? Who is he? What did he do? Who was he as a person? So who exactly are you all here? What are you doing here, please? What year were you from? What year did you pass? Is there anyone that would have been classed as a witch? Well, I know that you weren't witches. Any druids? Who was near the camera? Do you want to show the camera?
It is.
Hello. Hello, mate. Come from around here. Come in,
Call you.
Yeah. Hello.
You see that white Mr. right in front of us? Look, it's covering, it's hovering some forward.
Yeah.
Right there. You see it ahead of us?
Yeah.
Come on, come closer, please. That's fantastic. Love you. Come and get the light.
Gavin battery's flat.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. The thing is, it was lots was coming out, wasn't it? But then it was for us to piece together.
Yeah. Yeah. I've said to Tracy, as silly as it sounds, I felt like a guard the whole week. Like when we was in the woods, I had my back because there was something our side, and yeah.
In the first woods.
Yeah. So I had my back to you, so I couldn't even tell you what you and Claire was doing. The only time I looked when Gavin had the green lights on.
Yeah.
And I literally just stood there the whole time watching.
And did you, me and Claire were doing the same the other side?
Yeah.
Right. After the activity there, which was brilliant, we came back, called it a night, got up in the morning. We headed across to Lancaster Castle, followed the trial of the witches.
For Lancaster Castle, Hood HM prison, Lancaster Castle. Tour guides and ticket office. That's what we need. Lovely.
So the witches' accusations. Over 2 days, on the 18th and 19th of August 1612, 10 people were convicted of witchcraft. On the following day, they were taken from the dungeons of Lancaster Castle to the gallows on the moors above the city. They'd been found guilty of causing madness, laming, and murder through the use of witchcraft. Lancashire was a long way from the capital and government, and was viewed by those in power as a remote, wild and lawless. This was particularly the case in the district of Pendle, at the heart of this region where the story of the Lancaster witches unfolds. In April 1612, a young woman, Alison Device, asked the pedlar John Law to gift her a pin. He refused, so Alison ordered her canine familiar to lay him low. He then collapsed, paralysed down one side and unable to speak. He had probably suffered a stroke. Despite John Law forgiving Alison, his son Abraham took the matter to the local magistrate, Roger Newell. Accusations escalated, and within weeks 19 people were incarcerated, and that was in Lancaster Castle, awaiting trial at the Summer Assizes. Two elderly matriarchs, nicknamed Old Demdike and Chattox, implicated members of their own and each other's families. Subsequently, more locals were accused of attending an alleged Witches' Sabbath held on Good Friday at Malkin Tower, the home of the Device family. These included Alice Nutter, the widow of a well-respected farmer, who was possibly on her way home from an illegal Roman Catholic Mass. It may even have been the case that the supposed Sabbath was in fact that very Mass. The execution. 9 of the Pendle witches were sentenced to hang, along with Isabel Roby, also accused of witchcraft. The evidence against her was sparse, but she was still condemned. Those on whom sentence had been passed were conveyed to the moors above the town. On their way, they were allegedly permitted to stop for a last drink at the Golden Lion, which we'll visit later. Gallows were erected on a hill at the top of the road, allowing room for the crowd to witness the humiliating public deaths. The trials had been notorious, and the spectators must have been filled with excitement and trepidation. The witches were to be hanged using the short drop method, ensuring a drawn-out death by strangulation. The bodies are presumed to have been burned. No graves exist. The 1600s were a time of religious and political unrest, especially in the more remote parts of Lancashire. From 1603, James I was king of both England and Scotland, but for many years prior to that, he had felt that witchcraft was a very real threat. He even wrote a book on the subject which gave details concerning how to discover and deal with witches. He also feared the threat of Roman Catholicism, particularly after the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Bigotry fed by fear, envy and sectarianism pervaded the realm, and scapegoats were needed and found. Most of those accused of witchcraft were poor, ill-educated women living in a time of ignorance and superstition. Those accused at Lancaster Castle in 1612 were not the shape-shifting monsters of fairy tales, but probably just confused, old or sick. Some may have used their reputations as enchanters to extort money and favours. Others were healers and beggars, a nuisance to the God-fearing inhabitants of the small hamlets and outlying farms of the district. Some just fell foul of neighbourhood disputes and family feuds. Astonishingly, the 1736 Witchcraft Act remained in force until 1951. The last conviction under the Act was that of Helen Duncan in 1944. So the witches were Alison Devices, Elizabeth, James, Anne, another Anne, Jane, John, Alice, Catherine, Alice, Janet, Jane, Ellen, Janet, Margaret Pearson, Isabel. A lot of this has been made famous by Thomas Potts, who wrote the account of the trial. But anyway, other than getting sunburnt, it was absolutely thoroughly fantastic at the castle. We had a guided tour, and after that we went down to where the witches had their last drink. And then off to the hanging site. Hanging site, again, dowsing rods come out, and I was led straight away to one corner of where the monument is now. And a spirit box came out, had good communication yet again, but was told to go to the forest that I'd spotted. So we left Lancaster after a thoroughly good day. We went, recovered a little, something to eat, and went to the forest, which was terrifying. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but others were stuck to the spot. Came out of the forest, thoroughly battered and bruised.
Yeah, but it's like they sold them, so why would they just do that? Because they ate them.
Yeah, they kept the girls.
So they ate them. Is that meat going in and out?
They're just discarded. I don't know. That's where I think this girl's sadness is, because they're like coming in brothers and sisters, and I don't know.
Killed the children in the woods, made the children witches. Kept the girls and killed the boys. Ate the boys. And newborn children made greater potions because they were pure.
And do you know that Hansel and Gretel? It was they used to fatten up the boy. Do you remember, and starve the girl?
Yeah.
And that was part and parcel of that, wasn't it?
So that story might have come from there then.
Yeah.
Just missed. There's no mist there.
Yeah, that's what I got. What?
Where?
Who is it?
So all this way to try and trick me. I think there's more behind us now. So there's more that side of us than this side of us. But I know why you don't want to look down here, because that's where I can see the bodies hanging from trees. Perhaps if more was drying the meat. You like meat drying?
Hi, hanging up.
Yes.
There's something dodgy like that.
Loads of little children in front. There's a male spirit in the direction that I'm looking, which is down the hill. I'd like you to snap a branch, make a noise, whack 2 bits of wood together, whistle. I'm also recording with a device that will pick up your voice that we might not be able to hear. So, either make a physical noise, breaking a twig, a stick, banging wood together, whistle, or talk so we can pick it up. Are there any spirits ahead where I'm looking down the hill? Are there any children around us at the minute, please? Are the figures that would have been dressed in white around us, please? Could you tell us why you were wearing white? Was it a fancy dress? For a purpose? Summoning? Witchcraft did exist around here, didn't it, as it could be called today? Technically, I suppose what I do could be called witchcraft. So let's use it in that terminology for the moment. So I wouldn't class myself as a witch, but for the purpose of this, let's say yes. So are there any others, witches, here, please? Are you happy with us here? So we just shake here from down there. Hello, I heard you. I don't look at it. I heard a female shout here. Repeat it, please. Died. It's died. The energy's died, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I want to be over there now. Does that make any sense to anyone else? It's like I want to be over there, that side. I didn't ask you to do anything. Let's see what we're doing on that one. Let's have a look at it. Something's raising static. Repeat it, please.
I can hear that from the other side. Yeah.
We are. Does that make any sense to anyone else? So I want to be over there, that side. Yeah. Just sit on that.
No, it's just my legs. I'm warm, it's just my legs.
That's because of the children. The legs is because of the children.
Eh?
Children's heights. So if it's only your legs and not the rest of you. Put your hands around you, you'll feel tingling for their height. But that was clear when I said over the other side. Yeah. Have you seen anything on the camera?
Not really.
So I can't bother to get the other one out. Let's use this spirit box off of here very briefly. Hello? If somebody that wants to communicate with me, the only way I'm listening is if you refer to me by name or what I'm known as. Get up, man. So the only way I'm going to listen is if you refer to me by name or what I'm known as. Hello. Answer them my question. I'll ask you to refer to one thing or other. Did you hear that? What do you think he said? I'll listen to it back on there. Why are some people feeling uncomfortable here, please? Why are some people feeling uncomfortable? Right. If somebody had wanted help or the light. Yeah. Yeah. Guides would have told me, or something had come around me to tell me. So what are you trying to do? Leave us 2 slaughtered children. Why slaughtered children? It's my money. It's my money too. Where was the? What were you doing with them? Save them for? Noble. Noble, eat them. Which is why there's loads of dug graves in here. Locally, they'd have produced children for that purpose, to make the money. In a poor area. So it stopped. Especially at one. He went for me. Who in particular bought, or did you sell to? It's not like an easy profession to get into. So I understand for income. Forget that bit. But who did they go to? There was a purpose. Why? I understand you might have had to. We're not going down that path at the minute. If you want help, I can help you. But why? Who did they go to? You obviously had a distribution path. I need to move in a minute. I'm starting to feel really sick. Everyone else feeling sick. Not necessarily for the information either, I just feel sick. You won't be judged, I know you were being made to do it. One second. I'm not father. Stand up. I'm stuck.
Stuck.
This isn't just me stuck. My legs don't move. Oh, I've got a funny smell again. Got my trainers. You turn that up. Turn that off.
Well, it was loud, wasn't it? So hopefully.
I'm surprised it didn't catch it.
That was freaky. It sounded like someone was standing behind us in the woods and they, you know, like watching us, and then they kept coughing. But it freaked us all out, didn't it? Because it sounded more human than anything, didn't it?
It did, yeah. And it just weren't one cough. One time it was like, do you know what I mean? It was.
Yeah, it wasn't nice at all. And I think the thought of somebody watching us as well put us more on edge as well, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Got some good stuff though. I see, even when, you know, when Gavin said, come down here, I was like, not coming. When I think about that now, just looking down there.
Yeah, it weren't nice down there, was it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I was terrified. Gavin said, come down here. Nope. Just come down here a bit. No, I'm not coming. That was scary. Very scary. And just before Gavin said to Claire,
that's not like you to be scared. You're scared of nothing.
Terrified. Honestly, I was terrified. I don't feel like it was me. It's like someone stepped in and they were terrified. Because you said, I don't remember much after being a little bit upset, but then you said I was sobbing.
Oh, you did. You did.
And whatever that was down the bottom, I don't know. I feel like the deed was done down there, and I don't even want to think about it. It terrified me.
Helped a lovely gentleman, Nathan. He'd followed his dog into the reservoir on ice. The dog and him did not make it, both of which I sent to the light.
We got out of those woods, though. It wasn't so bad, was it? Once we got to that bridge where the reservoir was, I felt better. Once we crossed that, I felt better.
Yeah.
But going back to find that photo of those flowers, I was panicking then as well.
Really?
Because I said to Claire, it was here, I saw it. And then I couldn't find it. And then it was right at the other end. And there was something there or someone watching. You know, you walk towards it and it's just pitch black and you know they're there. And I didn't like it.
I knew we were being followed, but you know when I drive you can't see and they've got a mirror opposite to help them. I stopped by this mirror and I could see this bald-headed man. Started talking to him, saying I can see you. I didn't realise that the others could all hear him talking back, which I couldn't, saying I can see you too. They thought I was having a conversation with a real person. We were followed by all of the family. They weren't particularly happy.
So disappointed that I didn't get Gavin talking to whatever he was talking to.
That was crazy.
That was, that was strange. As we was walking out, Roger, like we've done the woods and we're going down the hill, and it was as if we come out some gates, weren't it? Right at the end of the bit to go into Pendle village as such. And all of a sudden Gavin stopped and was like turned to like a bush, say, and he's talking. So we've stopped. Tracy's come back and said, who's he talking to? And we was like, a spirit. But then we heard someone answer Gavin back to make me think, well, actually, I don't quite know now whether he's seen someone sitting there. And do you know what I mean? Because we physically heard someone talk back to Gavin.
We absolutely did.
But no one was there. And I said to you, Lorraine, you heard that, didn't you?
Yeah. Still answering him, yeah.
I bet that gave you some goosebumps, didn't it?
It did, because Gavin couldn't hear them replying like we could, but they were replying to him. But I don't know, maybe we were hearing what he does hear. I don't know. But someone definitely answered him.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what they said, but 100% answered, because when he walked up, I said, was you talking to a man, Gavin? And he said, yeah. And I was like, we heard him.
We did, yeah.
It was just the whole night was bizarre. Like, yeah.
Oh, give me shivers.
And then he went like a trance, didn't he? And he was saying, you don't just go, you don't just walk out or something like that, weren't it?
You don't just get to leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or don't just get to walk away, something like that.
Yeah, it was really...
Yeah, and it had that forceful voice, like we was being lectured.
And it was all the way back, weren't it? He kept stopping.
Yeah. Making us jump.
Yeah. As if they was like walking us back, weren't it? Like following us.
Following us, yeah. Like, I've got to have the last word.
Yeah.
And before you go, I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
100%. Never go to those woods again. Could you see it everywhere? The little girls dressed in the white, and I couldn't see it. I could see it in my head. The same forest and with their little hats and.
Which is like when we was waiting for that shop, we thought, well, we might as well make some. We had signal, do you know what I mean? So we was like, we might as well make time. So and because Tracy had seen it as well, she got on the old Google and she's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Well, when she showed me, I said, I thought she'd caught a photo because that's exactly what I saw. And she said, no, this is what's on Google. And I was like, that is them. And there was loads of them. But I couldn't say any of them were any older than 12. They were little to like 12. Horrible.
But it's nice because like I didn't do any research before we went. So when like you get that sort of stuff and then like you then research it and see it, it's do you know what I mean? It's good then, isn't it?
Yeah, that is fine that you were right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That part where Gavin was saying to come down and I said no, now you've said gateway, that felt like if I went there, that's the point of no return.
Yeah.
You get that far, you can't get away. And that's why I couldn't look, because as bad as it was there, down there's worse.
Yeah. There was nothing nice about it down there, was there?
No, nothing at all. I've never felt anything like that. I don't like it at all. I'm not going back. Daylight on, I'm not going back in the woods.
Rain's not on, definitely not. You're not like that.
I've never been scared. Anywhere we've been, I've never been scared.
Could you hear anything? Could you hear any animals or insects or anything? Or were it just quiet?
It was quiet, deadly quiet.
One bird I noticed on here, when Gavin said, can you do whistle or whatever, there was nothing from that bird not answer. You know what? Other than that, you didn't hear nothing.
No, that was at the
second one.
Or was it in the
bottom because it's sitting down.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing. It's weird. It was eerie, and it felt like being in a time warp, didn't it?
Basically, I went up to the other woods I was drawn to. Bev and Tanya and Sue, or Tanya and Bev didn't really feel there were any energies in the woods. We walked further and there was an old path that really shouldn't have been there. It's not a modern path. There was an area that was clear of all the other trees. No point cones dropped, growing any trees. Just after some trees, old trees were blown down. So this area hadn't got any holes from trees coming up. Really should have had something there. Grassy, the only area was grassy. So we did find some stones there. Feel there would have been like a building anyway in the middle of this forest. Picked up energies. So from there, we come walking back. Helped some normal, more recent spirits. We had Nathan, a lad that died in the reservoir in, was it 2011 did he say he died? Yeah. 2011. The girls had found flowers by the reservoir. Nathan went in on the ice to save his beloved family member, his dog Diesel. and passed away. But both of those are now gone to the light, which was brilliant. So then coming back down the lane, we've ended up with being followed, which has been followed also from the woods. But I feel now that what's happened in the woods was a nasty lady that kept interfering with a few of us. Lorraine's been in tears. That was weird. And Claire's been in a world of her own. She was trying to do a ballerina impression on the way back. Coming back then, stepped back at that point, and I got in between the energies and said, I can see you. And that was fine. As we then finished the spirit box, we got told finally from an older spirit that on the spirit box, go now. They're coming. Not good, negative, bad. And then there was a whistle. They said it's going to be a bird. So I said it was going to be a bird, didn't I, with that whistling? You said it was going to be a bird. So then this whistling happened again, but it came from the other side. And then it happened a third time. The whistling then said, I did that sound, didn't it, on the spirit box? So I don't think we were recording. They came back and they found the flowers. So we took that as the whistle. So we walked back down. That was when they cleared tiptoeing. But then as we turned the corner, I kept feeling like we were being followed, and I kept saying I see them and tried to hold the energy then more back. But there was a mirror where people used to reverse off the drive. I looked in the mirror. I didn't hear any of what I'm going to explain next. All I could do was see the spirits in the mirror. I was talking out loud, so I could see you, yes, you're moving now, you're there. And of course, mirror, I got the wrong way to start with. And I was like, no, not there, I'm in this, like in front, touched. Then I hear from them. There were 3 or 4 of you, weren't there? Yeah. Saying who you're talking to. Spirit. What did they say? I said, pardon? I didn't hear anything. They could hear a man replying to me or saying, I can see you too. Well, good. But words got to remember. Go on then.
That's right, yeah. About the crying.
Oh, the crying, yeah, no, the crying, that was weird.
It's weird, yeah, I don't cry like that.
Well, and I felt it with the little girl. I hadn't finished telling that story, actually. So that was where I was going. So with the forest. That's it, so in the forest. In the forest, you see. I've got to whisper a bit because we're still outside. So in the forest, I'd picked up this, I didn't say, Lorraine had picked up this child. I got to the steps and I wanted to go a bit more down. They were still there going, I don't go any further. I'm saying, you fools. there's loads of energies behind them. I could see them, they were like showing themselves as giant, which we just proved incorrect. They're making themselves taller, but I got carried with, the feeling in the energy. Mm-hmm. When I could feel him well above me, I had to feel tingling at waist height and take a hand down. No tingling from my knee height to the floor. So he wasn't as tall as he was trying to float in the air to make himself appear bigger.
Okay, yeah.
Which I got like, ah. So, anyway, so the woods there, they were selling meat, basically. Nothing to do with Pendle witches at that point. They were selling the children, killing them on full moons and new moons in a sacrificial way, wearing white clothing. So some sort of ritual to kill the children, throttling, not hug, throttling, then drying or curing the meat, selling it to the nobleman. Moved a couple of suicides off, moved a couple of workmen from the reservoir off that died in the creation of the reservoir. Then going back down the lane, so we'd had the voices. Most people that come here seem to come only trying to talk to the nutters. It's the other family. The other family's grandmother or mother, the old lady of the family, died with him, called him Mahava Patel or something like that. I heard voices as well. Died in prison. Didn't get charged, said she got died. She's hit me in the forest. I mean, like I felt like a baseball bat across below in my stomach, but around my bladder. Yes, it made me shout, and my whole body folded as it hit me. Didn't fall to the floor, but I did shout, oh! I wasn't scared, I didn't run, but it did make me jump, and I felt it. I then got whipped along the back of the legs, which, again, wasn't pleasurable, but I didn't run. I said, for Pete's sake, will you hit me? Like, it's not doing any good, but I can feel it. But then I had to say, if you are going to do it, please carry on doing it to me and don't do it to anyone else. Which I think they were quite pleased about, because normally I'd say, look, could you please do that to Lorraine? But I didn't, she'd already cried.
Oh, that was seriously weird.
I felt that.
Petrified. I don't know why.
Because the children, some of them knew what they were going for, because their brothers and sisters
And it
had
was
gone.
down where you were saying to go.
That was when the meat was cured.
Yeah, there was no way I'm going down there.
See, there was another gap opening, but no grass. And I think that was why they dried it in the sun.
Oh, God.
See, nowadays there's a stream. It would have been more like a river back then. And we definitely saw a UFO as well.
Yeah, defo. Yeah.
Which actually all the information started to drop since then. The pieces are together. But anyway, so this lady hitting me, apparently that's disrespected their lady of the family, because I wasn't scared. So since then, that's why now we've got a big gathering that seemed to have come with us back to the accommodation of both sides of the family.
Got some candles, my mirror, scrying mirror, and went by the river to communicate with the witch and her family, with an awful lot of spirit spectators. It was wonderful and a great experience. I'm sharing that with you as well now.
Claire, can you feel your toes on that? Can you wiggle them? Saying that, I'll break my arm and still move it, so...
No, the amount of times I've fallen off horses, that's mine. That's something I haven't fallen off and off in nearly 2 years, but...
Shit, I can't see that.
I could feel my ankle and can't feel that. Yeah.
Can you see my face?
Yeah.
Good.
Where's me?
I need to lie on my coat.
Is this supposed to be on the mirror?
Yeah, only see if we can catch it or it's recording it from here. If I manage to channel them out. Ouch. So my head down flat. So it will come close. Can you see?
Yeah. Give me around the ball, don't you? One.
Huh?
You come down this way. You see it. And then you can move over. Can I move over?
Yeah.
No, I meant this way. Did you ask me to move over?
No.
Oh. No, you come this way. Your bum's going to get cold.
There's loads of spirit coming back. I'm out of breath, there's loads of spirit. I mean, how you haven't done it?
Oh, fuck all. That's all. Can't hear fuck all.
You can't.
Oh, no. No.
I'll talk louder in a second, I definitely will. Oh, I can't see myself in the mirror. That was on before. Can you see?
Yeah.
Do I need to tilt the mirror any further?
No.
It's better because I can move it for you, it doesn't need to be for me.
I can see on the camera. Do you see Carl? Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you know when you do that. going.
See?
What? Pardon?
Maybe I'll record this near you.
You can record it if you want. What's that? Spade.
Hmm?
You talking to me?
No. Just holding the camera carefully, like it's going to tip onto your head.
Glasses called. Look at your glasses.
There's the glasses.
I want it to land on my shoulder.
So is that idiot there?
What was it?
Twig.
What?
Sound like a fucking twig, did it?
That was a twig.
Yeah. Didn't sound like a twig, did it?
It sounded like a big bang.
As long as it weren't a phone. Sorry.
Oh, what was that? Got me.
You went, yo.
What's that?
You went really prickly and all.
Yeah, hairy.
Hairy. Like proper prickles. Like,
It was a lady
Oh.
at the end.
Oh, maybe we didn't see the end because
no,
chunky.
She doesn't like you.
it was literally.
Sat on the twig.
You weren't talking to her.
Was it a
You didn't
girl?
talk.
Yeah. At the end, it made you jump. The woman.
I maybe we missed it then. Because of you.
It was like.
Oh, I'm confused. I'm dizzy. Right. Strong energy. Oh. Let's get back for a minute. There's loads of them there. I can see them there as well.
Sorry.
And there. What's that?
She's so sorry for standing on the twig.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
It could have been intentional, so we might have done that in order to. For some reason, I'd say anything's not a coincidence, it would have been for a reason.
Yeah, but I just can't find what stood on to make
No,
that noise.
that wasn't
There's
a
nothing
twig.
here to.
I don't think it was you, I think it was a bigger bang. This lady was getting aggressive towards you, not talking.
Oh, I couldn't hear her. Sorry.
There's nothing here. Oh, Sunday. That.
I'll shut that just in case she wants to hit me with it.
Oh, just a tip. Okay. Maybe. Trouble is, I'm deaf as a bat. I can't hear.
No, I can't hear him. Big
Tell them you
water.
can't hear and they're likely to start talking louder.
The water's loud, isn't it?
Yeah.
I heard something about legs.
I'll tell you what, if I can't hear, let me try and sit up a little bit more and get the mirror aiming at me while I'm here, because that should still work and you should still see. If I can get my face in it. Can you see me?
Gavin,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you never ever been able to come out of that?
Have what?
Out of like,
I can come out of it when I want.
okay.
If the guides come close to me when I've stepped far enough, I'll stay. This isn't like my trance with my guides. I stay very, very close so I can come back very quickly.
Oh, right, okay.
But the bang I heard and then I was back.
Oh, right, okay. So
I won't go deep into trance with this. I will only stay surface level because I won't let them take my body. Don't have the body. They've only got one part rather than full use. So for the movement, it's me that be moving, not them.
Right, okay. What?
You know, like a hanging, you'd have people, crowds that gather to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like there's crowds gathering to watch.
Oh, yeah. I've been hearing chatter.
Loads.
Yeah.
You can take that out though, because we're not using the other bit. You can have just the camera if you want.
Yeah.
Do that one.
Unsteady.
To make it more stable. There we go.
Yeah, as I say, I've been feeling like that he's going to go intentionally.
They want it recording, but they don't want the story coming out.
Have you ever known them to get aggressive and like come at people?
Only at me. Well,
No,
my very first paranormal, I got flung around a room, physically thrown around a room like I was a toy, like I was a tennis ball. And I actually still feel that my shoulder and arm disappeared inside a mirror, and the mirror didn't break. It was really weird.
Well, that one got struck you at the theatre, didn't it, in the mirror? And then you said step back because you were directing it at me. And you told them to sod off, yeah.
No, it's only because I asked.
But that wasn't in a trance or anything. I just took the piss out of this army officer and told me not to slouch, told me to stand up straight, and I slouched even more. But I think that was to teach me what spirit could do and what I could do back. So I went very quickly within a month. I found another paranormal event there and went back and apologised. Yeah, so that it wouldn't. So that basically, so that I got it.
Alright though, I feel like we've like pushed you off the blanket. No, I'm honestly. I'm good.
I think you might come back this way in a second. Oh, mate. Can you still see me? Let me move this way a bit then, so I can hopefully you'll see them. What on earth am I looking at? What the hell am I looking at? Oh, it's my t-shirt.
No.
Can you see me?
Can you see?
No.
No.
Which way does it need to go?
Can't even see you in the mirror.
Which way does it need to go?
Upward, that's it.
There.
Yeah.
Can't see you in that way, can you? Can you see?
No. Can't see you in the camera.
It's too high. It's better off laying down, Gavin. I'm going to stop recording and start it again. Sorry, girls. You want me to hold it?
I don't think it's close enough with the water. So
Oh, okay.
Can you see him? No, I can't. You can not. He's looking at me, I don't meant it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, but it's different to if you look in the mirror. Look, she's got her head in the way. What's happened? That's weird. Completely lost focus.
That curse is proper clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite freaky, wasn't it? But John said to him not to stop them, let him continue, because unless he'd said the whole thing, he wouldn't know how to undo it. Wowza. Poor me and Kerry.
Yeah, she didn't like us, did she, for what we knew? I was like, well, we know something that we don't know then.
We knew too much.
But on that, when Gavin was doing that cursey thing, not Gavin himself, but in the mirror, you looked in the mirror, it was as plain as day. You could see his speech change or whatever, like a beard. But through the camera, it wouldn't focus. It was just like a mass tape thing with something in his head.
Yeah, I saw that when I was standing behind you, right in the middle. Yeah. It wouldn't focus at all, would it?
No.
It's really strange. It probably freaked me out, that did, this weekend. Nothing normally bothers me, but that did.
The second was Roger, when we was going up the hill.
Yeah.
Weren't it, Lorraine? You could hear this noise, and at first it sounded like a metal fence, like didn't it, Lorraine? As we got closer to the woods, it was just this one tree. You could hear it creaking, weren't it?
Yeah, one tree, all the trees.
Yeah, and it wasn't windy, really, was it, Lorraine?
No, not enough to move that big tree. No,
and it was creaking really bad. And we stood there to the point where Gavin said, like, right, we're going to have to walk quick on that part. And we've all gone through and walked really quick, got to the middle of safe point as such. And we all sat there and you couldn't hear, like the tree just stopped. But the whole time going up to the woods, you could hear it. We got in and it stopped creaking. And then it only... later on, it creaked a couple of times, Lorraine, and that was it, weren't it?
Yeah, it was like a warning.
So bizarre. Yeah,
like a warning. Don't come in. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that insight, I'd never go back to those woods. The second woods, never.
Yeah, I think Saturday was the strawberry moon, full moon.
Right.
So you're going to get a massive energy build-up.
Is that when curses are stronger, Roger? By any chance? At 3 o'clock?
Oh, wasn't it? Dead
on.
Well,
3 o'clock in the morning is the traditional of the witching hour.
Yeah, well, that's what time it was.
Yeah. That was really freaky, that was. When she said you feel the breeze or say it, and you could feel it creeping up you. And then all of a sudden everyone's hands were freezing cold.
We were fine till then.
Yeah. Oh, it's horrible.
And then in the second woods, I kind of shut off to everything because that cough drew my attention again. So I was listening for that. Do you know what I mean? If it I just the whole time I was just alert. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah.
explain.
It makes sense. It does make sense. It does. Like, it makes sense you're saying God. It does make sense.
And then one time we did let a guard down. I didn't feel like it. Was when Claire fell over and we got a curse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you let that guard down and boom. It was weird.
Like they were waiting for that.
Yeah.
So finally, after a good night's sleep on the Saturday evening, we woke up, packed up, and went to the Pendle Museum. Fantastic museum. Showed all the eras. A lot of useful information, not just on the witches, but on life back then as well. And that was when we did our goodbyes and head off in our separate ways after a thoroughly fantastic weekend.
Yeah,